Lizaraine said her farewells and hugged until she cried, something she swore she wouldn't do. And now, as the ship warmed to a slow, steady hum, she was fixed to the outside monitor. She was amazed at the mixture of excitement and fear on all of those that came to witness the second most important trip to the new planet, Earth. The bunker was top of the line. As the upper layers of the planet burned, they were safe inside. 6 bunkers, 1% of the population survived. A few hundred years and the planet would once again support life, they thought. But no, they were wrong. It continued to get worse. 2 bunkers failed. 2 went offline. The planet was still dying. Supplies weren't meant to last so long. Tough decisions had to be made. In a cold structure, life also had to be cold. Only healthy babies were allowed to live. The rest were harvested for parts. Sad, but true. It was Lily's third attempt at a healthy baby. If it failed, she could lose her husband and be replaced with another. She had seen this happen before. The stress was killing her. Her labor was easy, and it was time. And Lily cried. She felt the baby come out, knew he was too small, but she didn't expect what was going to happen next. They took him away quickly. Lily saw just a flash, more red than pink. She didn't see the claws, the teeth. And now, as Lizarane's ship leaves the planet, he watched her sleep. He knew her. He knew them all. He wanted so much to kill her, to strangle, to mutilate. Something deep inside pleaded with him not to, for a rarity. He listened. As movement on her eyes became stretching of the limbs, he crept into the shadows to wait. Freedom was close. Usually the unwanted are killed quickly, and that is that. But this one was different, much different. Small, dark, pink, a long face with no hair, a fine row of teeth top and bottom. His eyes were too large, without lids. He hated the light. A call to the main channel had to be made. Orders were handed down. Lily and Jordan did not get new partners. They were killed and dissected. What made this beast of a child? They studied him. They were fascinated by him. Before leaving on his journey of no return, Bonvik submitted the theory that it was beyond science and that it could be a warning to stop killing babies. This was not accepted. On the day Bonvik and Monday left for his flight to a distant young planet that may or may not sustain life, the little child, now 13, escaped into a tunnel. All had tried to capture him. All had failed. As he grew older, so did his hatred. To him, they were different. He stole supplies, sabotaged equipment, and even killed to survive. The man in charge, who was rarely seen, came out to denounce the creature, named Six, for he was the sixth baby kept for examination. He offered a reward. It went unclaimed. The doors opened slowly. Sunlight filled the interior of the ship. Six knew instantly he did not like it. As Lizaraine met her husband Igmon for the very first time, Six laughed at the bearded genius scientist. Igmon was the only one that truly seemed to care. Still, he hated him. Six snuck out after the sun went down. As Igmon and Lizaraine got busy raising a rather large family, Six watched from a safe distance. He didn't want them to know he was there. One night he crawled into a small hole on the side of a cliff and discovered a massive cave complex. He knew he had found his home. Years went by and he felt himself growing old quickly. He knew death wouldn't be long. He also knew a secret. He knew what he had to do. The reward the man in charge offered was a machine, a blood fusion device that kept the user alive, unless killed unnaturally. Again, it went unclaimed. No one knew the man in charge was the first and only. He had lived since the bunkers first opened and closed, and he had grown tired of living. To reward Bonvik, he bestowed it to Lizaraine to give it to him. Igmon refused to use it. He offered it to Lizaraine. She declined as well. Six snuck into Igmon's personal things and removed the box. Igmon and Lizaraine were saying goodbyes as everyone left to start their own families. Six hated them, their perfect lives, happiness, togetherness. Igmon and his beautiful wife kept one baby girl, and they left her to sleep as they waved goodbye. 6 took her as well. Arriving back, they discovered baby Alice gone. Not used to worrying, they figured sweet young Alyssa couldn't stand to leave her behind and took her along with her other children. They smiled, knowing she would be well taken care of. The machine worked and 6 stayed alive. Alice grew into a woman. 6 was all she knew. They had twins, and Alice died during birth. Frantically, 6 used the machine on her after she was already dead. Alice came back to life, but she was dead inside. She never talked again, never laughed, and never smiled. The boys, one favoring Alice, the other 6, became young men. One day, fighting like boys do, they fell down a long, narrow shaft. It took 6 2 days to reach them. They were both dead. He used his machine on both. Same thing. Alive, but dead. 6 never recovered. Reverting back to his old ways, he started stealing to ease his boredom. He found Alice and the boys like fresh blood. One night, walking past the cemetery, 6 had a thought. I can make a world of the living dead.